Hey everyone, welcome to our channel. In today's video, we'll learn how to manage and link your Trello subtask plus do amazing subtask automation. So onto this tutorial, this is perfect for anyone looking to streamline their project management and make their workflow more efficient. So let's start with a brief overview on what Trello is all about. So we're currently onto Trello's dashboard in here, and Trello is a powerful project management tool that uses boards, lists, and cards to help you organize tasks and projects. Subtasks, on the other hand, are smaller tasks that are part of a larger task or project. So they will help you break down complex project into manageable pieces, making it easier to track progress and ensure nothing gets overlooked. So if this is your first time seeing a Trello, so this is Trello's website. We're currently onto my test workspace and I have here my board. So the name of my board is my board, and inside my board we have list. So the list in here are ideas, to do, in progress and done, and each list in here contains specific cards that contains the task that we can have onto our board. So how do we manage this task in here? So since we're talking about subtask, so for example, we're going to create a card in here. Let's click onto add card and let's name this task number 1 or test task. Click onto enter, and if you click onto that, this could be our task already. Now, if you want to go ahead and add in a description for that, you could add it in here. And if you're asking how to add subtask inside of this, one of the most straightforward ways to do that is by using checklist. So for example, we're going to type in first the task here. So for example, this is our main task in here, which is to clear all the cards that are inside the list or a board or a specific thing. So for us to be able to proceed with our subtask, we could use the different name of the cards in here as our subtask. So we're gonna go ahead and create a checklist for this. So you could see that one here onto the right side. Just simply click onto checklist. You could rename this, clear the cards, and right after, just click onto add. You should be able to see that one in here. There is also a progress bar in here to see your completion. So we're gonna add in, for example, we have card one onto our list, card two, and card three. Now, right after, if you hover onto each checklist in here onto our subtask, you should be able to add in some due dates in here, assign persons, and if you click onto the three dots, you could convert this to a card and also delete this. So I've mentioned earlier this progress bar that you can see in here. So for example, if you finished already the subtask to delete card number 1, so as you can see, 33% has been done already onto this subtask or onto this checklist. So you could hide checked items for that, or you could also delete this specific checklist, and you could also view this even from the board. So let's close this one out. And as you can see, 1/3 of the subtask is already done. So let's click onto that back again. Let's click onto this. And right after, if you save this, it should go ahead and reflect here onto our board. So this method is really great for subtask management. But sometimes you need more automation in your workflow, especially if you rely heavily on subtask. So for those who prefer having separate cards for subtask instead of those checklist items that we did earlier, so this next part is for you. Now for this next step, for the first automation, we're going to go ahead and set up our automation to convert checklist items into individual cards. Or we're going to be converting checklist items to cards. So this is actually useful if you want more visibility and control over each subtask. Now we need to set up that automation. And to do so, you should be able to find in the automation icon here onto the upper part corner of the screen. So if you see the lightning icon, this is the automation. Simply click onto that and you should be able to find in the buttons in there. So this will go ahead and create custom buttons on the back of every card or at the top of the board. So maybe here or onto the side of the cards. So we're going to click onto that and you'll get redirected onto this page. So here's a quick overview on card buttons. It will add quick actions to your cards with a specific button. So here are some of the examples for that. And we're going to click onto create in here to proceed. Now it will give us an option as well to go ahead and choose in an icon. So there are a lot of icons available in here. So feel free to choose which one you like. So I kind of like this one, which could be an indicator of a task. And then we're going to name this convert checklist. And then right after that, you'll just need to go ahead and enable this by default. And the first step for a button in here is to add in an action. So your automation doesn't perform any actions yet. So we haven't updated this. We need to add in an action in here to proceed. We're going to go ahead and find that specific action that we're looking for here under Cascade. But aside from that, we have move, add, or remove, dates, checklist, members, content, field, sort, Jira, Bitbucket, and also Slack. So we're going to choose Cascade in here, and we're going to go ahead and head down to find that specific button. So the actions in the sections are useful to propagate changes from a card to other cards. So there are a lot of details in here. So we could see this one. This one is what we're looking for. Convert all the items in this specific checklist. So you'll need to add the checklist name in here. For example, we're going to name this checklist into link cards. So use link cards in there. So we have this option as well to choose in a list in here. So you could choose to have this on the top of the list, have the specified name in here, like the list, which is to do. And then right after, you could click onto this icon in here and add in a pattern. So make sure to add card link in here, this one, and this icon in here. We're going to go ahead and copy the labels onto that specific checklist. So we have members as well. So we're just going to remove that and we're going to click onto this plus icon to proceed. So it has been added already in here. And this is the current action that we have for our card button. So as you can see, it will convert all the items in this checklist into link cards at the top of the list of to do using this pattern. So we're going to click on to save for that. And as you can see, we have successfully created our card button already. So we have showed this onto our board in here. So you could also choose to show this on all workspace visible boards, or anyone in workspace can enable this button. So we're just going to choose this one. There is also an option for you to go ahead and edit this specific button, copy this, delete this, or remove this, and you can see also its automation log. So make sure to just enable that, and we'll try this one out. Let's head back again here onto our checklist earlier. So we have test task in here, and here are the checklists that we have, clear the cards, and each task that we have in here or subtask. So if you want to go ahead and convert this to its own card, then we have the automation already added in here to convert the checklist. So you'll just need to simply click onto that, and it should go ahead and create your card checklist in here or subtask. So you'll just need to wait for this one. And before we forgot as well, we need to name this one checklist first. Since we've added onto the rule earlier to name this checklist, let's click onto this automation back again. And as you can see, it did created some cards already in here. So since we've added the pattern earlier to add in the card link, so as you can see, we have the cards in here. So it would be easier for you to transition from the subtask card to this main task in here. So as you can see, it has been added here on to do. And if you click onto each card, there is also a link for you to head back onto the main task that we have in here. So just simply click onto that and you'll get redirected back again onto the main task in here. So feel free to go ahead and add in a new checklist. So for example, for this specific card, we're going to go ahead and add in a checklist for this. We're just going to still name that checklist, and we're going to name this card TC1, TC2, and TC3. Click on to save for that. And then right after, we're going to convert this, click onto the button again, and wait for this one to turn into Trello cards. So you should be able to find that one as well here onto the to-do list. And it is shown also onto the top of the list since we specified earlier onto our rule to add this onto the top of the list. Now, since each card in here or each subtask card has its own card already linked to the main card, this setup allows for better management and tracking of each subtask. So the next thing that we'll need to do in here is we're going to automate the process of updating the main task card when subtasks are completed. So this will save you from manually checking off items in the main card's checklist. So in other words, or in shorter terms, we're going to integrate an automatic subtask completion update. We're going to start by unchecking this one first so that we could try to see the automation earlier. We're going to move this here onto the top so that for easy access. And right after, the same thing that we'll need to do, just like earlier, we're going to set up the automation and we need to head here onto this lightning icon onto the upper part of the screen. Right after, so instead of choosing buttons, we're going to choose rules for this. Rules will automatically respond to actions, schedule, or a card's due date. So we're going to click onto that and we'll get redirected back again here. So just opt for rules here and we're going to click on to create an automation here to proceed. So creating a rule, you need to have a trigger for that, an action, and you need to review right after. So let's start with the first step. Let's add in a trigger for this. So for the trigger in here, we're going to start with card move and when a card is added to a specific list. So we're going to choose done in here and we're going to click onto this plus icon to add that. So as you can see, when a card is added to this specific list, which is done, we're going to choose in an action right after, and we're going to choose still cascade for this. So instead of cascade, we also have a lot of options in here, just like earlier, but we have here under cascade, the one that we're looking for, which is find the first card link into the attachments, which is this one. So you could also try to use lookup for that or last card link to the attachment. But for our automation in here, this one is the applicable one. Find the first card link into the attachment. Click onto the plus icon and we're going to add in another action for that one. We're going to click on to add another action in here. We're going to choose checklist and then right after we're going to search for this one. Check item name. So instead of item name, we're going to use a code here. It's this one. So we'll just need to add brackets in there, type in trigger card link, and click onto this plus icon to add that. So this is how your rule would look like. So we have added a trigger and an action. So let's review it. Our trigger is when a card is added to a list done by you or any member. So the action for that is to find the first card link in the attachment and check that specific item using this trigger card link code that we have here. Once done, or once you have finished reviewing it, just simply click on to save. And this will go ahead and create your rule. So let's find that here onto the bottom. We could see that one here, and there is an option for you to enable this. Just make sure that this one is toggled on, and you could also edit this specific rule, copy this, remove this, and you could see automation log. Now let's go ahead and try this one out. Head back here. So as you can see, we're gonna go ahead and try to move this specific subtask that we have in here, for example, this one. Or let's try to see the checklist here, which is card 1, card 2, and card 3. We're going to move this one here on done. So as you can see, it will go ahead and still link that one. And let's try to see if this has been updated also onto the checklist. So if you click here, as you can see, card 1 is already done. Let's do the same thing for card 3. And let's wait for this one to update. As you can see, 67% of our checklist or a subtask is done already. So feel free to go ahead and just review the rules that you have in there. Make sure to add in the details that you're looking for so that your automation will work smoothly. So this automation ensures that your main project card reflects the completion of its subtask without any manual intervention. And that is just basically it. You already know how to manage and link Trello Subtask, and you've seen two powerful automations, which is the rule and the button to enhance your workflow. So these tools and techniques can significantly improve your project management efficiency. And if you think this tutorial has been helpful to you, then don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and we'll see you on to our next video.